Before we start this video, I just want to read this comment to you guys, okay? And it reads, Beyoncé was paid $10 million for a 3-minute speech without music. What a waste of time and money. Then we jump over to this comment. She won't give one nickel to the hurricane victims, but gives that Beyoncé 10 million. You're right. Biggest joke I've ever heard. And I personally think that's completely absurd. And it makes me think, what do you think she will do with our country? Okay, that's really what comes to my mind. We see this continuous pattern of how she handled the Maui victims, how she handled the hurricane victims in North Carolina, and how she handles, well, the Democrats in general. Okay, and then the country, might I add. All right, and it's really sickening. So that's that, guys. Comment down below your thoughts, okay? And as always, shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, the King Squad Elites. You guys are the bomb.com. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys, and you guys are awesome. And don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, tell you any different. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Shout out to the liberal hive mind, and let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so Kamala Harris had her biggest rally as of yet. And of course, the left is trying to promote this thing as, ooh, the greatest thing to ever happen. Look at the excitement, look at the enthusiasm. People are just so excited for Kamala Harris. I guess what they're trying to say is that this was her moment to shine, her moment to steal the spotlight. But I don't know, I don't feel like that at all. I feel as though it was more of the same thing, and in certain ways, it was kind of a PR disaster for her. Once again, I think there's a serious strategic misstep here, as we're seeing a clear repeated pattern, and that right there is going to be very clear in a second here. Let me show you guys why these Kamala rallies are just not the same as the Trump rallies. They're trying to mimic the same energy, but it just isn't there. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so we first got to start off with what everyone's talking about on X. You got all these clips bouncing around of Kamala Harris getting heckled and booed by people in attendance.
I just think it's funny how these people are rallying so hard, and then they're literally just like kissing their financial future goodbye. They're literally fighting to delete kids and like sabotage the future generations, sabotage elderly people, and it's just nuts to me. I'm like, wow, like where is the brain at? Like where is your brain? Like where is your common sense at? All right, but then again, common sense ain't common. There's that. Common sense is not common. And yeah, it's just like every time I see this, I think RIP to your finances, RIP to your bank account, your paycheck. You are literally handing your bank account over to the Grim Reaper. All right. And then groceries are already ridiculous. All right. People can't feed their kids. People are struggling. They're out here, choosing between what bill they're going to pay this week, what bill they're going to pay 3 weeks from now. Okay. Hoping that the lights don't get cut off. And then you're fighting to delete kids. Like the whole rally is delete kids. She's like Oprah when it comes to like deleting kids. This stuff is nuts. You get to delete kids. You get to delete kids. Also that, you know what? I'm a pull back. Let's get back into the video.
You know, it's obvious what's happening here. The Democrats are trying to mimic what's going on with Donald Trump as if Kamala Harris draws these big crowds, but it seems as though a lot of people in attendance aren't showing up to support Kamala Harris, but rather to heckle her. And so the same situation keeps happening. And a couple things are being highlighted as pretty clear in my view. Firstly, these rallies are clearly inauthentic. And secondly, Kamala Harris keeps exposing herself as inauthentic and again having an inability to go off script. She's just saying the same thing over and over again. Every time she gets heckled, it's the same pre-rehearsed line. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. rally. You mean to be at the smaller rally across the street. Do you have anything else? It's honestly mind-boggling. It's baffling the way Kamala Harris cannot come up with anything creative. She simply can't riff on the spot, and so she's just saying the same things. I wouldn't be surprised if she had these lines pre-rehearsed months ago. If ever you get heckled, just say this. It's kind of like the "excuse me, I'm speaking" thing. It's all she's got, like a programmed bot. It's like an if statement, right? If this happens, you respond with this. It's like a very unsophisticated code. There aren't very many options. It's just one. When you encounter X scenario, you respond with Y. It's just so cringe and inauthentic, and I think it's a bad look, bad PR, bad optics. Honestly, I think this whole rally was. You know, all the leftist shills on X keep posting videos of how massive the crowd was, and it certainly was massive. Ooh, what a crowd. Ooh, Kamala Harris really draws the crowd now, doesn't she? But obviously there's some important context here. This was a rally in Houston that hosted Beyoncè. You know, just one of the biggest worldwide celebrities in the modern era. It's just so incredibly inauthentic. I mean, no wonder 30,000 people showed up. These were the headlines ahead of the rally. Look at this piece from Vanity Fair. Beyoncé expected to perform Freedom at Kamala Harris Houston rally on Friday, sources say. The Houston-born superstar is slated to take the stage alongside the candidate, sources confirmed to Vanity Fair. So you can clearly tell what's going on here, right? They spread this narrative of a free Beyoncé concert, and then 30,000 people showed up. You think that maybe a good chunk of those people were just showing up for Beyoncé, or were highly motivated by the Beyoncé factor, more so than Kamala Harris? Yeah, obviously. And no wonder this rally was a complete mess, with all kinds of people doing all kinds of crazy things, not just the heckling, but if you see some of the videos, I'm not going to play them here because really the one that I want to play is probably not safe for YouTube, but this event was pure chaos. I'd call it a public relations nightmare. It just wasn't the same. It's not the same as a Trump rally. It clearly doesn't have the same level of authenticity. And it proves one thing that we've been talking about forever, that Kamala Harris is getting carried. She's certainly not doing the hard lifting, I'll tell you that. It feels almost as if Kamala Harris hardly has to lift a finger. I mean, she didn't even have to campaign. She didn't have to get nominated. She was just handed the position. She just needs to show up on stage for a couple minutes and let everybody else do the hard work. And that's
I also want to bring up that there's a great point that was brought to my attention was the fact that somebody said people go to a Kamala Harris concert People go to a Kamala Harris rally to see Beyonce, but then you go to a Trump rally to see Trump. You know, and so it really shows you that she really is being carried. Okay, and it's like she really can't do it on her own. She can't do it on her own, and she really has no policies, no real policies, and she's not really here to put the American people first, like at all. So there is no really, she's just not here to put us first at all. And we see that in her actions. Her actions express her priorities. And we're seeing that. And it's being made clear to us that the American people, us, are not her priority. All right. So that's kind of what that's what I'm gathering each clip that we go through, everything that we hear her say, all these interviews that are being done. This is the stuff that is being relayed to us.
The clear trend here, that this campaign is absolutely inauthentic, and that Kamala Harris clearly is in desperate and constant need of help. It started from day one when she launched her campaign, I believe in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, her first big mega rally was less of a Kamala Harris rally and more of a Megan Thee Stallion concert.
I'm going to show just as Megan Thee Stallion's come on stage, she's singing. I don't even think we've cleared the music rights. So, we don't play 5 minutes of the Beatles, Beyonce, or Megan, but I want to show people this was what we said at the top of the program. Megan Thee Stallion, a huge artist who's performed with Beyonce out of Texas, and she's on the stage here in blue, by the way, in Democrat blue for this big rally. Harris will be coming on next. So
like I keep saying, Kamala Harris is not the main act. She's not in the spotlight. She's a...
Yeah, they're definitely trying to turn America into Sodom and Gomorrah. There's that right there. I mean, it's looking more and more like Babylon every day. And that's just the way I see it from how the Biden and Harris administration has literally tried to run this country into the ground. And well, running it into the ground. All right. And I stated this in one of my previous videos. The Kamala Harris campaign literally just looks like a sequel to the Titanic, and it's just been nuts. So how do you think she'll run the country? I really don't think she's fit for the job. I don't really think she understands that. I don't think she takes the job serious. I don't think she understands the seriousness of the job and that people's lives are at stake here. Like the next 4 years of your life, your financial future, your life with your kids, your life for yourself. All right. People's retirement, people bringing babies into the world. All that stuff is on the line here. And then you have them out here trying to make sure you guys can't have big families, out here trying to make sure that, people are sabotaged and everybody can, delete kids and be effed up mentally and all that kind of stuff. And then turn little boys into she-he's and girls into they, thems and zemzers and zatzir and queer. And the list goes on. I digress. Let's go.
Side character that is simply the face of an establishment movement. Who are you voting for here? Kamala Harris or Megan Thee Stallion? Kamala Harris or Eminem? Kamala Harris or Beyoncé? Kamala Harris or Bruce Springsteen? Kamala Harris or Barack Obama? It's just such a bad look. What we saw during that campaign event where Kamala Harris went on stage for, I think, 5 or 6 minutes and then Lizzo took over tells you all that you need to know. It's almost as if they're trying to hide her. They know that she's not good at this stuff. She's not good at campaigning. And so they just want to bamboozle you with a bunch of celebrity faces. Look, your favorite celebrities are there supporting Kamala Harris, therefore you have to. Slay, queen. It's so bad, and I think this rally pretty much falls in line. I'm sitting here asking the same question. Who's this convincing? Is this really the argument? What an insult to people's intelligence.
Yeah, they gotta make this catastrophe look good. So then let's throw Megan Thee Stallion up stage and on the stage, and let's get the simpletons to vote blue no matter who. Let's throw her on stage and let's have her twerk. Let me see you shake something. That's what it turned into. Matter of fact, hey, somebody call Beyonce. Get Beyonce on the phone. Hey, can we get the real Slim Shady? Can we get Slim Shady on the phone? And then and they throw these artists up on stage, and what is this? What is this, Rolling Loud? I thought this was a Kamala Harris rally. It done turned into Rolling Loud, New York City. The whole thing is it's a nut job, and they got to make it look good so they can usher in these disastrous policies and codes that ruin your whole life. Like how people don't see this is just wild. It's just wild.
Vote for Kamala Harris because she's great and her policies are great. Don't even think about policy at all. Vote for her because X celebrity told you to. Vote for her because she shares immutable characteristics that are similar to yours. I don't see who this is convincing, and honestly, I see it as a failed strategy that simply won't work. It's starting to feel a little bit like a rematch of that 2016 election where Hillary Clinton was suffering gaffe after gaffe. She got humiliated during the debates and insulted half the nation as being a basket of deplorables, and what was the strategy? Quickly put Hillary Clinton on stage with Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Who did that convince? Pretty much no one. Well, this is the same thing. It's not a good look. It's not what the American people are hoping for or looking for, and I'm just not convinced that it's going to work. No matter how many times they try to pretend as if Kamala Harris is outshining Donald Trump. Wow, look at her huge rally. It wasn't even a rally. It was a, quote, Beyoncé concert that never actually happened. How crazy is that? The media was reporting that Beyoncé was going to perform Freedom, but instead the crowd got Willie Nelson.
Are we ready to say, Madam President? Mama.
Just not a good look across the board. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did,
shout out to the liberal hive mind and exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So there's that. Yeah, the whole Kamala campaign is just a giant crap show. And we all know that if, Ku Klux Kamala Harris gets into office, she's going to hand over the keys to the country to whoever, like our enemies. That's a whole nother conversation. She going to be out here fornicating with the enemies. It's going to be nuts. So it's going to be nuts. Okay, we're going I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to say there's things I got to watch how I talk on YouTube, but there's that. And yeah, it's going to be nuts. And then who's running America? America turns into a third world country, and then we out here eating whatever, God knows what kind of food, and then it's just nuts. It's just nuts. Now we're the enemy slaves. The whole country is building weapons for a whole nother country, our enemies. The whole thing is just a giant conundrum. That's my thoughts on it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and the King Squad. At least you guys at thebomb.com. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment your thoughts down below. I really love seeing what you guys have to say about this stuff. And we out. Peace.